bring in senior investigative reporter Aaron Katersky, who's in Lviv, Ukraine, along with ABC's Alex Perche in Washington for more on this war and the U.S. response. Aaron, I'd like to start with you. Is there any chance for a deal in these talks today between Russia and Ukraine, given what President Zelensky just told David?
Doesn't sound like it, really, Diane. The talks just got underway in Belarus, we understand, with the Ukrainian delegation, the Russian delegation trying to work something out. But it was preceded by two failed rounds of talks, two failed ceasefires over the weekend, and what the Ukrainians considered a real cynical ploy to offer safe passage to Russia this morning from a number of Ukrainian cities. And with those demands from the Kremlin, repeating the independence of Donetsk and Luhansk in the east, recognition of Crimea, the giving up on ambitions to join NATO and the EU. You heard President Zelensky just now saying we're not doing that. And the contrast that he brings up is really stark. Zelensky has been out speaking with reporters, speaking to his own people via social media and on television. And President Putin has been hunkered down. Our Martha Raddatz has been reporting he's constantly in a military bunker looking for updates instead of communicating with his people. Indeed, Russia has been cracking down on any kind of protest or even journalists who dare to report something other than the official Kremlin line. So we don't think there's common ground here for these talks or really any way to end fighting anytime soon, now in the 12th day.
And Alex, there are growing calls to ban Russian oil imports here in the U.S. How would that affect Russia's economy, and why hasn't the administration taken that step?
Well, Diane, the late Senator John McCain famously called Russia a gas station masquerading as a country. And so, I mean, overall, the impact could be significant if the U.S. and especially if parts of Europe decided to essentially sanction Russian oil and gas. But we've seen the administration, despite these bipartisan calls for a ban on Russian oil and gas, be a little bit hesitant to enact them because of the ultimate impact here at the price of the pump. We've seen gas prices already soar. They could go even higher. And then while there is a bipartisan group, and I will say that it is very rare that you see Senator Ted Cruz and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi on the same page whenever it comes to any sort of policy, both of them now calling for the U.S. to essentially ban oil and gas out of Russia. There is a difference in opinion for what happens next. Now, the White House has sort of at least seemed open to the potential of basically banning Russian oil and gas going forward. But you've heard President Biden and the administration kind of talk about, well, you know, the American people will have to kind of get used to the idea of higher gas prices. Meanwhile, Republicans have been pretty steadfast in saying that America should expand its drilling and domestically, which is something that obviously goes against the Biden administration's plans whenever it comes to clean energy.
And Aaron, Russia says that it's again offering to open humanitarian corridors for civilians to evacuate Ukraine safely. But Ukrainian officials say the offer is not genuine because it would only allow civilians to evacuate to Belarus and Russia. They also say that the previous ceasefire agreements for the same purpose were not adhered to anyway, and that Russians started shelling civilian areas after agreeing to those ceasefires. So what does this all mean for the millions of Ukrainians still trying to escape the war?
There's a real doubt that the Russians are committed to avoiding civilian casualties. We've seen civilians targeted where they live, where they work. The Russians have even said they're going to bombard more civil infrastructure, which President Zelensky likened today to deliberate murder. And so for the 1.7 million Ukrainians who've already crossed an international border, they're safe. But for those who've remained in these besieged cities, staying is unsafe. Leaving is unsafe, as we've seen civilians come under fire as they've tried to escape. The decision is fraught.
All right, Aaron Katersky and Alex Perche, we appreciate it. Thank you both.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.